The following program is intended for mature audiences.
All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for your weekly MMA podcast brought to you from the Ruloff Family Inc. studios. It is Bueller and Dodge on the mics, ready to give you the MMA news, break down some fight cards for you, and all that jazz. Of course, you got to check us out on Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, where you can subscribe and never miss a podcast. Get our official website, which is splitdecisionmma.com. On Facebook, Split Decision MMA Podcast. Give us a like, or on Instagram and Twitter, SD_MMA. We are brought to you by Americana.rocks. That's ROCKS, and you can go check them out. You can put in SDMMA for a 10% discount as well. They have all the fight apparel that you could possibly dream of. It's fantastic. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into it here. Of course, we are doing the UFC embedded for Conor McGregor up against Jose Aldo, which is still 2 more pay-per-views away.
2 more pay-per-views and like 11 events.
Right, exactly. But that hype train is huge, running through Dublin and Brazil. It's going to start World War III possibly.
Yeah, this was the final stop on the tour. This is Dublin.
Oh, this is the final stop on the tour?
This is the final stop on the tour. So this is the Dublin end of it, and the crowd is very riotous.
Riotous?
They are going crazy for Conor McGregor. And then something crazy happened. This is them arguing back and forth. Jose Aldo telling everybody that he's the king of Dublin. I brought the sunshine when it only rains in the city. You should be more appreciative. I am the champion. Conor puts his feet up on the table. The minute Jose Aldo goes, oh yeah, I can do that. Boom! Conor snatches his belt.
And the place goes ape shit. Absolutely ape shit. This is when the most pissed off I've seen Jose Aldo.
He was pissed.
Yeah.
And Dana White later said, he's like, holy shit, that kid is fast. I couldn't have stopped him if he wanted to hit him if I wanted to.
I wonder if Brazil and Ireland actually got in like a war, who would win? Like you got the Irish Republican Army, and then you have all the Brazilians with AIDS and trannies fighting each other. I don't know.
This was pretty crazy. So if you haven't seen this yet, go check it out on YouTube. Just look up the UFC 189 Embedded. This is episode 10. Yeah, it's getting a little nuts, man.
I'm looking forward to this fight, dude. I mean, I think it's way too early, like we said, to be hyping it like this, but damn. These guys are going to have some serious hate for each other in that cage.
We got a chance to talk to Chad Mendes this week for his fight upcoming this weekend. He got to talk a little bit about it. He likes it. He thinks it's funny.
He does.
Because it's not happening to him.
Exactly. Exactly. If you haven't heard that interview, by the way, we have it posted up online as well. A little quick talk with Chad Mendes for the 3rd time that we spoke with him.
Jose Aldo then recently tweeted this picture. It's him in a robe, crown, and scepter. Says that he is the king of Dublin still. He says, you know, about the whole thing about him grabbing the belt, that doesn't matter. That he knows. Let's see, where's it at? That's the best he can do, because the next time he's in front of me, I will be beating the shit out of his face.
Do you think that that Conor could possibly hype himself up so much that people start not liking him?
There was one. He did a recent reading mean tweets on a Dublin broadcast, some internet show. He got to read mean tweets about himself, and one of them was, the difference between Chael Sonnen and Conor McGregor is Conor McGregor actually believes the shit coming out of his mouth. And Conor's like, I don't have to believe it because it's all true.
Right. Of course.
I speak the truth. I don't speak just things.
I don't mean necessarily that, like him hyping himself, but some people, like what he did right now to Jose Aldo.
A lot of people thought it was very disrespectful.
Extremely disrespectful. I mean, regardless of hyping up the fight and stuff like that, like you still should, I guess, in a sense, in the mentality that we have as men, there's respect due for people in certain positions, and in this sport, the king is the champ.
Yeah.
And sure, there's people coming for the throne and things like that, but at the same time, at the end of the day, you guys are all in the same profession, and you got to respect what he's done to get there. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that I care wholeheartedly, but I'm sure that there's got to be people out there that are like, this is extremely disrespectful.
Oh, a lot of fighters that come out and said, I can't believe you did that. That's, you're not supposed to touch the belt unless you have the belt, especially not take the belt off the table from the champ, hold it above your head.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was wondering if that would happen. So it is happening then.
Yeah, there are some people that find it extremely disrespectful, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it's all about hyping that fight, I guess.
For sure.
I mean, they definitely, I was talking to Albert, actually got a hold of him, and he was like, yeah, no wonder they did this in Vegas, because you have to go somewhere that's not going to fucking riot. You could not do it in Dublin. You could not do it in Brazil, because win or lose, there's going to be a riot.
There's going to be riots. And there's possibly going to be riots anyway in Vegas, because you're going to have half of Brazil and half of Ireland here. You know?
Like I said, they already said they sold 7 million.
The only good thing about having it in Vegas is all the Irish people that are going to be there are going to be more drunk than normal.
Wait, is that whoa? Is that possible?
Is it possible?
I think so, because it's
drunker
easier
than normal.
It's easier. I think it's easier to be drunk all the time in Vegas than it is, in a civilized place. Like I'm calling Dublin fucking civilized over here.
The UFC has released another 8 fighters. Patrick Walsh, who was 1-1 in the UFC. Andy Entz was 0-3. Josh Shockley is 0-2, Richard Moreira 0-2, Rodrigo de Lima 0-2, Josh Copeland 0-2, Ruin Potts 0-3, and Jake Lindsay 0-3. All have been let go.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, doing 0-2 and 0-3.
There's not a single name on that where I'm like, oh, I'm not.
I'm gonna miss that guy.
Yeah, I'm not
Exactly.
Even the guy who had a win.
And he was on the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Even if you started to look them up, you'd forget who they were, but you'd get 2 pages in, and you're like, what? Who am I looking at?
I would have to copy and paste the name because by the time I was typing their name halfway into Google, I'd be like, fuck, what was his last name?
Who was that?
Dan Hardy, who has not fought since September of 2012, says he wants to get back in there very soon, and he wants to fight either Diego Sanchez or Josh Koscheck. He doesn't care what weight.
Whatever. You fight whoever you get. I'm tired of people telling me who they
I don't think
wanna
he's
fight.
coming back. He said Dana's already talking to him, been like, you don't have to fight. You can just do commentary. You do great at that.
Why are you calling out has-beens, though? You're calling out a guy who Dana literally said he wants to retire, and Diego, who nobody's given a shit about in half a decade at
Diego
least.
always comes to bring it.
Didn't Hardy announce the wrong guy one time already?
Possibly.
Would it surprise you? Would it surprise you?
I mean, he's been out with his heart condition. He does say he's working his way back. Would you care about either of those fights? Would you like to see Dan Hardy against either of those guys? I think against Koscheck would be an interesting fight.
I don't like watching Dan Hardy fight because he's a one-trick pony. It doesn't, and that's not enjoyable for me from either one of those standpoints because those are both wrestlers, really good wrestlers.
Yeah, and Koscheck hasn't been fun to watch, especially the last 2
But
fights.
see, he doesn't have to worry about the wrestling if he fights Koscheck, or those guys don't have to worry about wrestling from Dan Hardy. He's a striker. He's a boxer.
But that's what his problem was. That's why George GSP was able to wrestle fuck him for the entire fight.
But he did train in Muay Thai and he did train in Jiu-Jitsu, and apparently he was good. That's why GSP couldn't armbar him, is because his jiu-jitsu was so good.
Not because George had the wrong technique for some reason.
Right.
Yeah, but whatever. No, he does. That's why Dan Hardy doesn't excite me. He's great. You put him in there against a striker, you're gonna have a very fun match to watch. Possibly 2.5 rounds of just explosive punching each other in the face, which is fantastic. But you go up against somebody who can out wrestle him all day, like Diego or Koscheck, then that fight just can't appeal to me. Unless, of course, we get the Diego or Koscheck where it's like, well, I'm a striker now.
Right.
And then they get knocked out by Hardy, which I find that wholeheartedly enjoyable.
Paige Van Zandt recently just turned 21. She came out and said that she would like to shave her head for charity.
What a sweetheart.
We have
21,
this
that
possible
means-
Photoshop.
Oh my God, dude.
She's 21, much closer to doing mags.
Yeah, she's that's
All for the St. Baldrick's Foundation, who currently holds head shaving events for cancer awareness. They've raised over $154 million in the past 9 years. And then, of course, there was a bunch of backlash when she announced that she wanted to do this, saying that you have your image to look out for.
I just want to say with that picture, she looks like she could be related to Tito Ortiz somehow.
Yes. Maybe they just took Tito's head and photoshopped it on there.
Maybe kind of morphed it into Paige Van Zandt's.
Yeah.
I don't know how Photoshop works.
They said that her golden hair is part of her signature look that everyone's really up. I guess there's a lot of negativity. She said she doesn't know yet until after her fight with Felice Herrera whether or not she's going to do it, but she was definitely going to be doing something for charity.
Well,
and
whatever.
For cancer
If
awareness.
she wants to shave her head for charity, nobody has any room to say anything.
Right? I don't understand when people are like, no, you can't shave your head. Don't give money to people who have cancer. That's a horrible idea.
Yeah, people get in the mood to tell you you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to me. But if she shaves her head and she's like Samson, then she's fucked.
I wonder if it's Reebok. Reebok's the one's like, no, don't do it.
I mean, that's possible.
Speaking of Reebok, have you seen what they did to Jones? I mean, he's featured, but it's like seconds. You like have to rewind it to like you're like is
that the pump commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah, the pump commercial. You like see just like a blur of his face. I'm like, was that Jones or just some other athlete?
I didn't know it was Jones till the third time I watched the commercial.
See,
I was like, sick, pumps are back. Yeah. Holy shit, that's John Jones.
Yeah,
like,
real
John
quick.
Jones was putting on a pair of Gillette pumps.
The third time I saw it was like, oh.
And I still seen some cocaine, just a little bit though.
Just a little bit. Tyson Fury
It's inside the button.
Tyson Fury back in the world of MMA in the news. He says he's in discussions with Scott Coker about coming and making his MMA debut in Bellator. Tyson Fury, if you remember, is the heavyweight boxer who says basically he could take out anybody. He's going to knock everybody out. He's
Cool.
Of Irish traveler descent, he says it doesn't matter what he does. He's definitely going to knock him out. He was talking a couple years ago how he was going to take out Cain Velasquez.
Can't wait to see it happen.
And Scott Coker said, I told his manager he's going to get taken down, he's going to get submitted, and he's going to get hurt. And his manager said, well, it doesn't matter. He really wants to do it. And I said, okay. And then we started talking. He says, this guy has no idea. Let's see how serious he is. So we don't know if it's 100% confirmed that this is actually going to happen.
Okay.
There has been discussion apparently for the past couple weeks.
I have nothing. They have the utmost respect for boxers, man. What they do in the boxing ring is pretty amazing. It is a sweet science of boxing, and there's a lot that goes into it. But when you throw that out the window and you add in ground fighting, kicking, grappling, and all that shit, like your sweet science is almost useless at that point in time. And that's not, I'm not saying anything negative about boxers, but boxing and MMA are completely different.
Completely different sports.
You can't compare the two. And like, I understand why boxers hate it because it's taken away from their limelight a little bit.
Yep.
It's cut into their gate.
I don't think it took away. They killed their own sport.
Again, yeah.
This is true, but it also gave people who were thinking about moving and kind of wavering definitely somewhere else to go, by going to MMA.
And the newer generation, obviously, there's a lot more stars in MMA than there were back in the day. So a lot more younger crowds are getting into MMA before they're getting into boxing.
Well, I just think that there's more of the younger crowd. Well, even our generation, more people did martial arts when we were growing up than did martial arts when our parents were growing up.
True.
Yeah.
And that's translated.
Well, this is completely off topic, but it just popped in my head. Has there ever been any? Because you're talking about someone possibly jumping into the world of MMA. The bank robber dude,
Lee Murray.
Lee Murray.
What about him?
Isn't he supposed to be out soon?
Last time I heard about Lee Murray, there was all kinds of stuff.
I just saw some internet stuff like Lee Murray's getting out. Somebody's gonna have to put him in the UFC or something like that.
The ref just got out, right? Josh.
Yeah,
Josh
Rosenthal.
We
We
forgot
heard
to bring
about
that up
that.
last week.
Yeah.
Josh Rosenthal is out, and he's reffing, right?
Yeah, he's doing a small market right now. I guess he's trying to work his. We just don't understand how you bust a ref for growing weed and he can't come back to the sport.
I don't get it.
Obviously,
half your fighters smoke weed.
Yeah, I guarantee he wouldn't give. He wouldn't call stuff too early or.
He was one of the better refs in the UFC.
2010, Murray served 10 years in Moroccan jail. Sentence was then extended 25 years in 2010.
That sucks balls.
Why you gonna bring that up, Joey? Keep going.
It must have been in 2010 where I was hearing some mixed stuff online about him possibly getting out.
Yeah, he was trying.
Hey, you might be able to get out. Now we're gonna give you 25 more years.
Holy
He was
shit.
trying. He took part in, allegedly, and he has been convicted,
of it.
He allegedly took part in one of the largest bank
robberies.
robberies in the world, in history.
He was also involved in that brawl that happened over there in the UK, though.
Yes, that was during a UFC event where he allegedly knocked out Tito Ortiz.
Yeah, the bar
and that
brawl.
is from Matt Hughes and Randy Couture, who both were there.
I think
and Chuck Liddell. And they
confirmed
said that Tito Ortiz got knocked out by Lee Murray.
This is all silly shit that you guys can go look up, but it's fun.
You think he's got a Twitter account?
You think he did for a little while. And then
Maybe he could tell us where it's at.
No, he did, and he actually was in touch with Middle Easy using a cell phone. And then once they started doing articles with them, whoever in the Morocco prison was like, "Hey, wait, how are you doing this from inside our prison? You can't do that."
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we're deep. We're deep in the MMA. If you don't know,
we need free Lee Murray shirts.
They had him for a while.
I want another one. You hear that, fatty?
Free Lee.
Free Lee.
Middle Easy was doing him for a little while. It was pretty funny. Anthony Pettis says he'd like to come back. Number one, he will not be on the same card with his brother. We talked about that ever again. He will not watch his brother fight. But now he wants to fight Nate Diaz for his return fight. How do you guys feel about that?
we don't even know we don't know what's going on with Diaz.
Oh, I was like thinking Nick. I'm like, why would you want to go up and weight so high?
No. We don't even know what's going on with Nate.
Nobody knows where Nate's at.
Yeah.
He's hanging out, man. He's doing triathlons. I saw his Twitter.
Is that right?
Or his Instagram.
I haven't heard from Nate in forever, man. That'd be a fun fight to watch, though.
You'd be entertained.
I would be entertained. I'd be down for that.
Who do you think? Right off the bat, quick Quick analysis: who's winning that fight?
Pettis.
Yeah.
How?
I could go to decision, actually.
Decision?
Oh, you think it goes to decision?
You think he'd finish Nate?
Who's finished Nate?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. 5 years ago, I would say.
Dos Anjos didn't even finish Nate.
No.
He's the new champ.
Yeah, and he gets a lot. I got to give Nate a lot more respect after what happened in this last Dos Anjos fight. Maybe Dos Anjos was a little bit more than what a lot of us thought he was.
No shit. No, I think Nate, like, he's gonna fight off his back. He's gonna talk a lot of shit. He's gonna pitter patter.
Yep.
But Pettis is gonna work.
He's gonna move.
He's gonna land the shots.
He's gonna move.
Yeah, while Nate's throwing his hands up and running his mouth, and it's gonna come down to the scorecards. And I think Pettis wins that fight if it happens.
We got rumors that Glover Teixeira will be fighting Alexander Gustafsson in Berlin in June.
That's cool.
Again, quick analysis. What do you think? What do you guys?
Teixeira.
You gonna take Teixeira
That's rough,
over
dude. I don't
Gustafsson?
know.
That's a good fight.
I think it's a really good fight.
I think it'd be a great fight. It's going. Well,
Definitely
it's going
a stand-up
to be a
war.
great fight.
Definitely a stand-up war.
I think Gustafsson gets rocked hard in the first round, but then Teixeira's the gas tank. I'm not confident that really is going to last all 3 rounds, and I feel like Gustafsson would probably finish it in like mid-third.
I'm going to take Gustafsson in that one too.
Really, I think that before his angle was a lot of people didn't have a lot on him. You hadn't seen him a lot. Now we've seen a lot of both fighters. I think Teixeira would have a good camp that he would be ready for him.
I would like to see that fight. I'm glad it's happening.
Fight.
Finally, some stuff to be excited about.
So this right here,
Phil Baroni?
Phil Baroni possibly going to the
that
WWE.
Fight, not this.
Hey, every time I see his name, I question if am I dark enough? Am I tan enough?
Tan enough. Phil Baroni allegedly, quite possibly, might be signing with the WWE.
I'm down for this.
He put this on his Twitter. It was also on his Instagram. He had pictures. He was at WrestleMania, possibly to sign a contract. See what's going on. There are talks. I haven't.
How old is he now?
Seen.
He could be a Jamaican. He could be Ja Baroni.
No, I'm telling you, he looks like Dan Bilzerian, and I think that could be the angle that they play him on. He's got a huge beard right now.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, he was asking everybody online if he should shave it off or not, and I think that could work perfectly into his gimmick.
P. Hill Baroni.
I know. God damn
That's
it,
a colon.
Bobby. That's a colon. No,
That's
you want to
P.
see a
colon.
colon?
That's P. colon.
I'll show you
Baroni.
a colon.
Phil is 38.
Phil is 38. Okay. Well, I mean, wrestling's hard, man. Wrestling's hard. I just remember when Ken Shamrock was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that for a while." He was like, "Fuck that. I'd rather get beat up 3 times a year than every night."
Right, yeah.
See if there's new pictures. Yeah, there's a nice beard action going on.
Cool. He's always been a character. I mean, I think
it's the New York Badass.
if he can make some money doing that, then go for it, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of WWE, WrestleMania did just happen. Happened actually in our own backyard.
Something that we didn't talk about last week. Brock is not coming back.
Brock is not coming back. He has decided he is 100% signed with WWE, and he has closed the
Because
door.
he gets to continue to do steroids.
Closed the door on MMA.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No, he says 100%. He has closed the door.
He's free to do steroids.
However, WrestleMania was at the Levi Stadium here, where the San Francisco 49ers of Santa Clara play.
Heard it was a nightmare as far as parking goes.
Well, I'm sure they have to share a parking lot with Great America.
Yeah.
So
I heard people were walking as much as like 6 miles to get to the venue.
makes sense.
where they
It was
parked.
packed, and we got to see Ronda Rousey in the squared circle of the WWE universe.
This is confusing to me.
It was funny.
It's
What's
great.
happening is Ronda Rousey is in the new Furious 7, the new Fast and Furious movie, with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
He was there to promote the event, plus he is a character in, obviously, the WWE Universe. He got in and was arguing with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. They told him to leave. He happened to walk by and see Ronda Rousey and her 4 Horsewomen, her friends, sitting there watching the event. Got her out of the audience and told her to come in because basically the way the storyline went from the clip that I saw is that Stephanie McMahon pushed The Rock and said, "Get out, you can't hit a woman." So he grabbed a woman that could hit a woman
Nice.
and said, "I have a good friend here that is in a movie with me that would love to hit you." And then Triple H tried to rush Ronda, and Ronda armed through him, judo style, out of the ring, and then grabbed Stephanie McMahon here in a kind of modified
did
side.
Did he try to rush her? Because I thought he just got hit or something by The Rock, and he stumbled into her, and she
He was rushing them, and The Rock hit her or hit him.
Okay.
Yeah. Threw him out of the ring, and then goes after her and grabs her in like a side armbar, standing armbar, and threw her out of the ring as well.
It's amazing the strength that Ronda Rousey has to be able to flip Triple H like that.
Yeah. Hey, it's
Dude,
judo, brother. It's judo.
I'm following your argument through this week. I felt like that guy was going to cry and go, "It's not fake." I felt like you were arguing with a short, fat guy with glasses.
I even said, "Hey guys,
It's real to me, damn it."
it's enough." I said, "Guys, it's enough. Stop." And then he went and fucking posted again, and everybody lit him up again. Like, poor guy. Poor guy. Yeah.
So yeah, and they said now the connection here is that Ronda and The Rock share the same manager. He said this was a one-time deal. She is not going anywhere near the WWE again. Other she may be watching events, but she's not going to be in ring. She's not trying to make a career switch. She's not going to have a part-time gig. She's not going to appear at any other events.
Because people are saying online now that there's going to be a match between Stephanie McMahon and
all
Ronda
kinds of
Rousey.
stuff. Absolutely not. This is one time, A, to promote WrestleMania, B, to promote her just winning her title in 14 seconds in her upcoming fight, and C, to promote Fast and the Furious 7.
And
all
D,
linked
to
together.
remind us, all of us former wrestling fans, how amazing Stephanie McMahon's boobs are.
As fake as they are.
Dude, don't care. They're
Dude,
off
how
the
old is
charts.
she? Because she's been around forever.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So if you haven't seen it yet, you can find it online somewhere.
What's
crazy?
the sugar pot look like? I mean, the titties are nice. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
It's not discussed, I don't think, in wrestling.
What, Stephanie McMahon sugar pot?
You can ask Triple H. It's so.
I know.
wrecked.
I'm not interested in his sugar pot. Well, I
wrecked.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it is his sugar pot.
So what's weird to me? Okay, first off, Ronda's replacing, like, bringing another fighter in because they killed off Gina Carano in the last movie anyway. Not necessarily replacing it, but she's going in there, and she can do this in the WWE. But the weird thing to me is that like I get the vibe that Vince and Dana don't like each other anymore.
I think they tolerate each other.
Well, the whole thing with CM Punk and that situation and stuff.
I'm sure it was a little, yeah.
okay,
and,
but in the script of WWE style, this all works out exactly how it's supposed to work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you think, oh, there's a big fight going on.
I thought it was entertaining. The clip that I watched, that the crowd, first of all, the crowd ate it up. They
Right.
loved the fact that Ronda was there. B, she got to get in the ring.
Yeah.
And straight up, everyone started yelling, Ronda's going to fucking kill you in a giant chant for a good minute and a half to Stephanie McMahon. Because they all know that she's legit. Like, everybody knows that she's legit. So it was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's everybody. Yeah, she's frightening to me at this point in time.
And I did like, she didn't get to talk much on the mic. She didn't have the mic skills quite yet.
Right.
But she did get to say, because she got told to get out of her ring. She goes, no, any ring I step in is mine.
And I like her Mad Dog, and I'm trying not to smile.
She's so happy. She's fangirling out. They love
Dude,
wrestling.
oh, yeah.
Her friends were jumping up and down. Like,
Holy shit.
They were having a good time.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
she was like Jimmy Kimmel, but just
oh, I'm not laughing.
this is awesome. Chris Cyborg Santos recently, or excuse me, I was going to say Santos. Justino recently posted this picture of herself saying she's worried about dropping to 135 and losing her Brazilian booty.
No.
I don't think I ever wanted to see that.
Really? It's not. Hey, there's a people. I'm happy about there's a people.
Mind the gap?
Yep.
Mind the gap. So she says that she's worried about losing her Brazilian curves. Is there any way she could keep her Brazilian curves?
I'm staying away from this one.
Should we move on to this story
Staying
then?
away from it.
Fallon Fox is going to be in a new documentary.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
Comes out at the end of the
Why
month.
doesn't it just go away? Who's pushing this thing?
She will be in a movie called Game Face
Stop saying she.
about gay, lesbian, transgendered athletes at the Miami Gay and Lesbian Film Festival, April 26th. Talking to her about her being a fighter and a transgender fighter, and then, of course, a gay college basketball player.
Oh, so they're not going to have Michael Phelps' ex-girlfriend pushing her porno there?
No.
The intergender
So, if I take my
Taylor
giraffe
Chandler?
to a polo game and I'd say my
not.
giraffe is a horse,
thing? Nope.
do you have to let me and my giraffe play in the polo game? Because now my giraffe has decided it's a horse.
I'm not, no.
Not having that discussion.
Especially, God, talk about beating a dead horse, speaking of horses. No, because we already had that guy, he posted the study.
Yep.
You know, and basically broke it down the same way that we broke it down a long time ago.
I love this. I love when he's like
PC.
the study, not what it studied, just the study.
It was the study about whether or not Fallon Fox would be considered like a man. And like my whole thing, I think my point is still valid. Fallon Fox dies. 1,000 years from now, fucking civilization is completely changed, and they start fucking exhuming bodies and shit because aliens want to find out what lived here before they showed up and killed everything, and they dig up Fallon Fox. They dig up Fallon Fox, are they going to put it over with the fucking dude skeletons or the chick skeletons? Because everything that study said the dude skeletons.
Right.
So, look, I mean, that's as fucking black and white as you can get.
So you're saying my giraffe is just a giraffe?
It's a fucking giraffe.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if you want me to call it, I'll call it a fucking horse all day. I will call it a horse all day. I'll put it in the fucking horse pen and let it play. But
does my giraffe have a case of why we won't let it play with horses? No, it doesn't.
I don't even.
I quit.
Is that it? You're done? You're out?
All right.
Are you going to go watch the documentary?
Did the white
I'm gonna
reporter...
watch the documentary, but I like transgender chicks. So
Yeah.
I mean, she's not Brazilian, but I can make it work.
Hey, this works. This is what the reporter should have said to Fallon.
So this was at one of the events that was on the embedded episodes. Basically, one of the guys asked, this was in Toronto, asked Jose Aldo, if I was wondering about your pay situation, do you think it has improved, and how is the lawsuit affecting your contract with the UFC? Do you have any thoughts about joining the lawsuit by Rob Mazey? This is during the press event. Dana White was not happy. He stood there, looked at him, frustrated. Aldo and his translator talked back and forth. And when they got finished, Dana White interrupted and said, "You're a dick." I'm just translating for him. You're a dick.
in his best Al Capone voice.
And then they said, the translator actually got to translate, said, "I'm happy. I'm not complaining. People are going to do whatever they want to do. It's up to them, but I'm happy with my contract." Dana White said, "Yeah, cool, thanks. You sit down and shut up. Shut up. Sit down. Sit down. Shut up." Who has another question? The guy stood up and was like, "I asked a respectful question. You're being disrespectful," and then sat back down. And that's when Dana went off and sit down and shut up.
You're a dick.
Yeah.
Uncle Dana. Piss off Uncle Dana.
It was pretty, and nobody did anything. Everyone was just silent, like, "Oh fuck,
Well, no.
Daddy just hit Mommy at the dinner table."
Yeah. Because you don't want to get next, man.
I gotta sit here, just act like it didn't happen, and Mom's like, "It's okay. Dad's just angry. Everything's fine. Everything's fine."
Bring me the dishes.
He just gets a little upset. I mean, do you think? And then he later said, "I don't understand. Slick public relations is about diffusing controversy, not creating it." I mean, obviously, if there's one thing we could say about Dana White and controversy and or public relations is he's not very slick. Yeah. So, I mean, do you think he's out of line? Do you think this stuff needs to happen?
I think if anything was going to happen...
First, do you think the reporter was out of line for asking that question?
I think it's... The reporter asked the question to elicit this kind of response. There's absolutely no fucking way that he asked this question, because this is like what everybody's talking about right now. Right. Because they're not.
Right.
This is not topical. Nobody's talking about the lawsuit right now. Nobody's talking about how
there's no details anymore.
Yeah.
We're waiting.
Exactly.
Well, and again, how else are we going to get details if reporters don't ask?
He knew what he was doing.
Counterpoints.
Dude. He knew what he was doing.
No, but I'm just saying.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
You asked.
So what? We just sit here and wait at the teat of information, or do we just grab that fucker and suck on it?
No, man. You wait until it's relevant. It's not relevant right now.
You wait till that titty's out. You don't pull down the dress and take it out.
You wait till that titty's relevant.
We're coming up on it in July.
So ask in fucking July.
No, because then it's going to be like, oh, wait, we're still working on it.
That is more relevant.
Oh, okay.
So do you think Dana White was out of line?
Dana White's always out of line.
Right.
Well, you're in agreement on that. What else do we have going on? Betch Carrera recently got death threats.
What?
In her native country, Brazil.
Really?
Over, apparently, she was with her boyfriend, Eldison Silva, and her sister and taxi driver wanted to be paid for an unused trip. They paid him extra. He said no. They went back and forth. They ended up going to jail. And he started tweeting death threats, including pictures of a gun, saying that I'm basically going to come.
I'm coming for you.
Come for you and threaten your family.
Well, I mean, it's in Brazil.
She said, I guess, this isn't, he wants to attack me because I'm at the best mode of my career. Unfortunately, that's the price we pay for fame. I don't know what he wants from me. I'm 30 and I've never fought in the street. We're going to let the authorities handle the situation.
Is that legal in Brazil?
I don't think you're allowed to have a gun, aren't you? Right?
Everybody has a fucking gun in Brazil.
Myth one.
But I thought it was illegal because remember, what's his name couldn't mirror. Is it bullets are illegal?
It's an airport, dude. That's way different. It's way different, man. You can't have a knife at an airport either.
But it's Brazil.
What?
Well, I don't understand where you're taking this argument at all. No, I'm wondering if, like, because here, obviously, you can't make terrorist threats like that in the United States. You'd be on a list and they'd be up your ass in a second. But that's us, and we've only been doing that for the last, 15 years. Are other countries the same way when it comes to making terrorist threats online? I have no idea. That's what I'm curious about.
All right. So did you get to watch the World Series of Fighting event or Bellator at all?
Yeah, it was all over those.
World Series of Fighting happened on the 28th?
No.
Did not get a chance to watch that.
You know where I was.
Justin Gaethje defended his belt up against Luis Palomino, destroying him in the third round due to leg kicks and punches. And I watched this fight the entire time just saying, he really needs to start checking those leg kicks. He was throwing them heavy to the thigh and heavy to the calves, and finally he just collapsed. I think the third time is finally when the ref...
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ended up stopping this fight. Thiago Silva got beat in the first round.
Wow.
Lost to Terry Holder, who's stepping in for Matt Hamill. Clifford Starks over Jake Hune. Timur Valiviv over Ed West. You can check out the rest of those.
Remind me why Matt Hamill was out.
I don't remember.
All right,
off the top of my head.
Hey, but he saved a kid's life and
Saved a kid's life.
Yep.
Who, Matt Hamill did?
Yep. And then, of course, your Bellator event, we had Alexander Shlemenko over Brennan Ward. Rad Martinez over Edson Berto.
Hey, Kendall Grove.
Kendall Grove fought on that card and lost to Brett Cooper.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Which is why he's not in the UFC anymore.
And then, of course, we have our UFC Fight Morning coming up tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
So many people are going to miss this.
Jesus Christ.
Some people are going to miss this and not even know what happened.
Man, you get UFC and breakfast. Punches and pancakes, babes. Let's do this.
I bought my favorite cereal. I haven't bought it in probably 15 years.
Fruity Pebbles?
Yep. I'm going to munch a bowl of that while I'm watching the fights.
Awesome.
I'm so excited. My daughter's like, why didn't you get Cocoa Pebbles? I'm like, bitch, because it's my favorite.
Because it's Fruity Pebbles.
Because it's mine, and I paid for it.
You in the hot
old enough
tub.
to buy it?
Watch it in the hot tub.
I would love to, but my hot tub is gross right now.
Oh, is it?
I just looked at it. It's not sanitary.
All this is going to be going down on Fox Sports 1, taking over your Saturday morning cartoon time.
It's bullshit, but I guess it's worth it.
Ron Stallings going up against Justin Jones. Yeah, go for it. Shamil.
Shemazel.
I'm going to go with Abdurakhimov.
Up against Timothy Johnson. Gray Maynard.
Yeah.
Who's 1-4-1.
All right.
Going up against Alexander Yakovlev. Liz Carmouche coming back after her hiatus, going up against Lauren Murphy.
I just love to watch her fight.
I'm taking, let's see, Jones, Shamil, Maynard, and Carmouche.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Stallings. But the rest of them, I'm with you.
All right. And then we have Dustin Poirier going up against Carlos Diego Fiora. Clay Guida going against Robbie Peralta. Juliana Pena making her return.
Nice.
Against Milana.
Is this a quick turnaround for Poirier?
No, he lost to Connor.
That's right.
It's been a little bit.
Michael Chiesa is still in the UFC?
Michael Chiesa going up against Mitch Clark. George Masvidal going
I
up
thought he
against
got cut. I swear to God, I thought he got cut.
Alaquinta. And then, of course, your main event is Chad Mendez going up against Ricardo Lamas. This is for allegedly the number one contendership spot.
So a possibility of Chad getting his third
shot at Jose Aldo / Conor McGregor. Depends on who wins that fight.
Fair point.
I'm going to go Poirier. I'm going to go everybody on the left side.
Everybody on the left.
Poirier, Guida, Pena, Chiesa, Masvidal, Mendez.
I'm going to take Mitch Clark over Chiesa.
All right.
And then
Iaquinta maybe, but I like Masvidal a lot, so I'm going to go with Masvidal.
I would go with Masvidal for sure, but Chiesa, I think he probably gets his walking papers after this fight.
All right. Mendez or Lamas? You're going Mendez?
It's a tough one for me, dude. That's a coin flipper, but I mean,
that's a good fight between him and Lamas. I really like that fight. It's what he, as he said, the true number one contendership spot fight.
Yeah, I don't disagree with it, and I mean, I guess just talking to him, and he's been on the show with us 3 times now. I'll give him the benefit, just because he's a nice guy.
All right, Dennis,
you're gonna win by being nice.
Yeah, Mendez.
All right, so that's it, huh? That wraps it up.
Short week.
Like we said, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's the pre-card. The prelims are 10 a.m.
Yeah, the whole thing starts at 10.
All right, that works. I guess.
Oh yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
I still don't understand that at all. I don't know where the logic is behind that.
I would. It's the only time he could rent the place. That's the only thing I can think
They
of.
don't want to compete with the Final Four, man.
All right. Okay. I guess that makes sense. So check it out tomorrow on Fox Sports 1. The entire card, prelims and main card, are on that channel. 10 a.m. Pacific time. That'd be 1 p.m. Eastern, just in case you were curious and confused. Yeah, so there you have it. Thanks for listening to Split Decision, your weekly MMA podcast brought to you from the Ruloff Family Inc. studios. Make sure you tell your friends to get us on Spreaker, Stitcher, and SoundCloud, or our website, which is splitdecisionmma.com. iTunes, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on Split Decision MMA Podcast on Facebook, and, of course, subscribe to our Twitter and Instagram, which is SD_MMA. Go to Americana.rocks if you want some kick-ass MMA apparel, and put in
Rowdy Beck shirt. You can get your Kelly McGill shirt.
Hopefully soon we'll have our Bear Tear Doctor shirts up there.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome. So yeah, make sure you check them out. Put in SDMMA as your code and you get some percentage off. It changes. It does. It changes. That's pretty much it. So yeah, from the Ruloff Family Studios, it is Bueller and Dodge saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fight at 10 a.m.